everyone, it's Charlene. Today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable platform pop-up card using some of the new products from Lawn Fawn. Be sure to stick around until the end because I also have a bonus card to show you. Here I have the spring basket, stamps, dies, and coordinating stencils. These stencils are going to make it so easy to color. Let's start out by stamping some of the images. This set features two different basket options. There's one with a little bunny and one without. Then there's several different options for items that you can put inside of your basket. There's also Happy Spring, Easter, or Mother's Day, and a little Mother's Day card, as well as a bow and a little heart and two butterflies. I'm using intensified black ink from Hero Arts to stamp out several of these images. I've chosen 3 different inserts for my baskets. So I have 2 baskets here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp a second one of the baskets, as well as 2 more bows and 2 more hearts. Next, I'll use the coordinating dies to cut everything out. And you can see that for the baskets, there are inset dies that will cut out the inside of those baskets. I've taped down all of my dies. Now I can cut these out. As I pop out each of my die cut pieces, I'm going to stick them down here on my sticky mat from Altenew. I have all of my pieces stuck on my sticky mat. I've ensured to leave a good amount of space around each of them. Now I can bring in the coordinating stencils in order to color everything in. You can use this stencil set to color in all of the stamped images that are in the stamp set. I'll start by coloring in the basket, so I'll lay my stencil directly over the top so that I can see a black outline all the way around the edges of the stencil. I'm starting with brushed corduroy distress ink, and I'm going to come up from the bottom and the sides of the basket using my Altenew blending brushes. Once I'm happy with the basket, I will do the same thing to the top portion handle. Now I can remove that stencil, and you can see we have a beautifully colored basket. I'll repeat that with these 2 baskets. Here is our finished second basket and our completed third basket. This detail portion of the stencil will color in the fabric area at the base of the basket. For this detail, I'm going to use some tumbled glass distress ink, coming from the bottom and running my brush up along the sides. To make sure I don't get any blue on my bunny, I'm adding a piece of masking tape. Now I can remove this stencil and repeat this process for the other 2 baskets. While I have my blue ink out, I'm going to color a couple of other things. I'll start by coloring a bow. For the bows, I'll do an all over of the blue to start. Then I'll use my Altenew detail brush and use that to color the center of the bow. That will darken it. Once I'm done, I can remove my stencil, and you see that creates a nice, lovely dimension to the bow. There are 3 different stencils here for the eggs. I'm going to color 2 of these eggs in that same tumbled glass. I'll do the same thing I did with the bow. I'll start with a little bit of an all over blue, then bring in my detail brush and run it along anywhere I would like there to be a darker color to show shading. Finished those eggs, so I'll remove my stencil. This other stencil has the heart on it, so I'm going to bring that in and color one of the hearts blue. The hearts I'm just going to do an all over. Here's our finished blue heart. Next, I'm bringing in wilted violet. I'll use this for the second portion of the egg stencil. Repeat the same thing with an all over light coloring of the purple, bringing in a detail brush to go around and add shading where I'd like it. Finish those purple eggs. I'll color the bow and the heart in the same way we did with the blues. So here are the finished bow and heart. For the third egg stencil, I'm going to use Kitsch Flamingo and make these a nice pink. Here's the finished pink. Aren't those a cute pile of Easter eggs? Now I'll do the same thing for the heart and the bow. Finish the heart and the bow in that same pink. For the chicks, you have the option to color each of the eggs a different color. I'm going to keep mine white and add some shading later. I'll start by coloring in the chicks, and for these I'm going to use mustard seed. I'll do the same thing with a detail brush, bringing it up from the bottom to give us a little bit of shading on the chick. Here is our first chick. I'll repeat that same process for the next 2 chicks. So here's chick 2, and here is chick number 3. Now this stencil will color all their beaks. I'm going to use some spiced marmalade and just a little detail brush to color in those beaks. There are 3 different stencils for the bunny, one for the body, one for the tail, and one for the ears and nose. I'm going to use some light gray here, so I'm bringing in Lost Shadow, a very nice light gray, and I'll do a light all over inking of the bunny. I'll bring in a little bit extra along the edge where there naturally would be a little bit of shadow. Now I can go ahead and lift this stencil up, and you see that difference now between the gray and white. I'm going to leave his tail white, but I am going to bring in the Kitsch Flamingo for his ears and nose. I want to keep this a soft pink, so I won't use very much. Now I can remove the stencil and look how cute our bunny is. The next set of stencils here colors in all of the goodies for this Easter basket. So I'll start with the first one, which is the little peep, using the same mustard seed again for that peep. For the egg, I'll bring back the tumbled glass. For this right egg, I'm bringing in the wilted violet, and for the chocolate bunny, walnut stain. For the jelly bean bag, I'm going to bring back the Kitsch Flamingo. And once that's done, we finish those treats. How cute are those? I've added in some shading with Lost Shadow on the eggshells for the little chicks. While I have everything adhered to my sticky mat, I'm bringing in some glitter stickles to add a little bit of sparkle to our finished card. I'm starting here by adding some to the hearts, and then I'm also going to add some to the center of the bows. I'll set this aside to dry. Here I have the platform pop-up die, and I have the Bitsy Bloom 6x6 inch petite paper pack. Lots of fun and cute spring patterns in this beautiful paper pack. I've chosen this fun spring rainbow pattern, 2 in the plaid and then 1 in this fun floral pattern. I'll die cut all of the pieces out that we need. I have 2 of the large platform bases, and then I cut 3 of these T-shaped pieces from white cardstock. I have 1/4 inch double-sided tape, and I'm going to place tape at the bottom of 2 of these T's right along this score line. I added the tape to the 2 T's. For the 3rd T, I'm going to trim off the base right along that score line. Then I'll add double-sided tape from here to here. I added my tape all the way along to the bottom. For the 2 platform pieces, there is a score line here. I'll add double-sided tape right underneath it, and then the same thing for these 2 tabs that are on the left-hand side. I've added the double-sided tape in those 2 spots. I'm going to set one of the platform pieces aside and fold all the score lines on this piece. I've folded them all. I'll turn this over so the pretty side is facing out. Next, I'll take one of these T's that still has the score line and our double-sided tape along the bottom. I'll slide this through the slit at the bottom so that the double-sided tape is still facing up towards me. Next, I'll remove the release tape and I will fold this piece up, making sure the bottom of my T is nice and secure and snug and straight. Once that is secure, I'm going to flip the piece that has the exposed double-sided tape, and I will secure it down to the base. Next, I will remove the strip of release tape that is along our base piece. Then I will fold this up on the 2nd score line. Then this time I will tuck that tab that has the adhesive exposed and adhere it to the base. Now we have our first half of the platform, so I'll repeat that process with the other half of the platform using the other full T. So now we have 2 platform pieces, and I'm going to take one of the platform pieces, it does not matter which one you use, and I'll bring in our T that has the bottom trimmed off and remove the release tape. Once I've removed the release tape, I'm going to stick this piece to the platform piece. I want this to line up so that the bottom portion of the long part of the T runs right along the score line, and so that the very bottom of the T hits the bottom of the platform piece. Next, I'll bring in some more double-sided tape, and I'm going to apply 2 strips. Once I've added those strips, I can put my 2 platform pieces together. I'll start here by removing the release tape from the first tab. Now I will line these up right next to each other, and I will fold that tab over to adhere the two pieces together. Now I'm going to remove the release tape strips from this right-hand platform piece. Once that's removed, I'm going to fold the left side over onto the right-hand side, making sure the tops line up. Then I can remove the last piece of release tape and I will lift up the platform and tuck that tab right underneath and make sure everything is nice and secure. Now we have this awesome pop-up platform. I've chosen several pieces to decorate our platform. I used sprout cardstock from Concord and 9th for our grass. I cut out several front panels using the florals, and then I cut out pieces for the bow here. I used Aqua Sky cardstock for the blue portions. I'm adding a dot of glue to the center of this blue portion and adhering a white piece. Now I'm adding some small foam adhesive squares to the back to help our bow pop up. I've removed that release tape and I'm going to put it directly over the white tail piece. The ribbon pieces for the bow are scored, so I'm going to start by folding these at the score line. Now these pieces are ready to adhere to our platform. Before I put on our bow though, I'm going to adhere our front and side panels. So I'll adhere these in place in the center as well as putting the two matching pieces on each side using some liquid glue. I finished applying those, so now I need to adhere these two bow pieces so that they come together in the center of that middle decorative panel. Lastly, I'll add some glue to the back of the bow and I can adhere this right in the center. While that dries, I'm going to cut about a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch off one of the pieces of grass using my paper trimmer. This is going to give us a tiered look because the grasses will be different heights. Next, I'm going to flip over all of my grass pieces. Then I'll add double-sided 1/8 inch tape along the bases of those grass pieces, and I can adhere them to the white platform pieces that are sticking out the top. Once all of the grass is on there, you can see what a fun platform this has created. I have all of our fun Easter themed pieces that we created from earlier. I'm starting by adding some glue along the bottom of the goodies and adhering them back behind the basket. I've done that for all the baskets, so now I can add my bows to each of the baskets in a few different spots. I want to add the bunny basket at the front and these two baskets on the middle. So I've added some double-sided tape to the front of these two baskets and adhered them to the middle piece that's popping up, and then put our main bunny piece adhered to the front of that front grass piece. Off camera, I stamped and heat embossed "Happy Birthday" on a piece of black cardstock and trimmed it down. You can see I also added in our 3 cute little hearts. Here is our finished super cute Happy Birthday platform pop-up card using the adorable spring basket stamps, dies, and stencils. For that birthday sentiment, I brought in the spring basket add-on. You can see this has lots of other fun options, a little birthday card, all birthday things, and there's also the dies and coordinating stencils. I mentioned I had another bonus card here to show you. I made this card for Mother's Day. How cute is this with the little flowers in the baskets? And you can see for this card, I actually used the platform pop-up add-on to create a background area. All right, guys, I hope you picked up some tips and tricks today. Please be sure to like and subscribe as well as hit that notification bell so that you'll get notified about future videos here on the Scrapbook and Cards Today YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.